Okay, so let me begin. Let me first say this goes to the anger management one. Let me recommend a video for you that covers a lot of that topic that I'm dealing with. I've fucking dealt with it. I have anger management. I'm still dealing with it. I think everybody does in the physics problem. It's force, friction, and tone and frequency. Force is an acceptable model. It gets things done in lieu of finesse. And as long as that option in the entropy says 0, says 1, you're sure as shit better believe it is. But that's not the true matter. It's dynamics. It's somebody's fucking boss about a rock or how much rock you gotta. I know. If I have 5-foot saws running that bastard solo by night, dropping 5 guys and never getting a pay increase, this is physics and requiring of a crowbar, kind of leverage. And you get it. I mean, that's just yours. You have that dumped into there. And people, there's reasons. There is reasons to get mad. The same problem. How did you do things? Force, negotiation, options, studying. I mean, that's a good option. Is it going to get to the result that you want it to do? Physics is just one of those things like that where it's like you got to test everybody else's shit to make sure that it was right. I got to check it. Hubble's fucking constant all the time, and it's like I love Hubble, whatever. That's all good stuff. This is bipolar, right? It's like, well, that's not what I want. That's not what I want at all. Quantum mechanics says in one of those issues, the mechanics is Higgs constant. Something's redshifted. Something's slower than the causal sea limit. You're fine at sea level. You should be all right on the mountain, but as if you're under sea level, you're dead. This is kind of our bar these days. It's 83. That's at a rational number. It's causal. It moves at the speed of that thing. When you got blue figured out, where you're getting her real good to figure out big pieces of the thing, and then, how did that thing happen? All right, so there might be some quantum operators in the bosonic harmonics, acoustic flutter, air acoustic flutter. They'll teach you air acoustic flutter, and they'll teach you baryonic harmonics, and it's like they're two different things, and they're not two different things. I can use the same physical graphing chart like all mathematics and calculus follows. Like Newton's gonna say a graph, X, Y, figure it out. This point, those 2 points met, this is what those markers were, and you find out looking at them. It's like Vernon has it, saws have it, there's dark matter, dark lensing. It's like that stuff's pretty complicated, and it comes up with time. Nobody had a real number for it. It doesn't have a name. That problem gets out of control. So the note I didn't really bring up on that last one I talked about, bipolar, manic, schizophrenic, is hypervigilance. And this is the video I'd have you recommend. It's a class whatever on one of my other pages there, and right down at the end, or type it in search bar on Facebook, hypervigilance. Master Mason note, class, hypervigilance. PSTD, okay? And you're going to get into what physics is. This is pressure, bars and stars, bro. Fucking bars of pressure and stars, neutron physics. Neutrino, neutron star, to me, they are the same thing. They follow orbitals. The numbers are redshifted on a binary scale to the other side of the fence, which makes those numbers real for what they do and how I'm mechanically processing them there. But if I go try and use them somewhere else, I have to use the compounded n1/2 variable on what that is, the derivative function or whatever you want to call it. So as a psychologist, they go, well, it's got to be this. And it's like physics. In my drug and alcohol coach, I was pissed because, they couldn't do anything with me. And it's like, because you're not doing anything. Your job is to get to the fucking senator on this one, because here's physics on what the goddamn law is in the box about right and wrong. Entropy of the 83 in the fucking stone mill. Oh, good God. Oh, and then you can't because you're locked in by a piece of paper on your desk. You better believe. That was my first role. And then you go through UHS, and I've seen people. It's like, if I ever had to call, it was this little old lady. She was older. And she had a friend named Susie or Sally or something like that. And she would fucking talk to her in front of everybody in the room like they were the only two in the conversation. Now, out here, I do a lot of that. And I did need to see some of that. But most everybody was in there in the normal group people. I've met the girl that was there before, a little springy, bit of a bunny, kind of crazy. A couple of guys in there, probably alcohol, and pouring it into the chemistry is not necessarily the best way to do it. Cleaning it out using that is the same thing as saying, all right, you're a stoner, I'm going to take you off of it. And, well, this is not the same thing, but it has a parallel at least. I'm going to take you off marijuana and slide you on Zoloft as a fucking drug and alcohol coach that's never understood the drug in itself, its physics, and therefore the response. If I can calculate the same result from a different fucking standard, and it's like that's things that make you mad. Now I have the victory. No, I have just won. I have just won. Blue, Putin, Russia, Como, all of them. Damn. As long as it's on the board. If it was your standard, you had that there. Oh, you better believe I had you in the fact that you're gonna be where I put you when this is done, because you're gonna headhunt somebody for me, brother. And I'm gonna let you have it. Let you have all of it. Don't find out one of mine was fucking around by like you had this number. This is physics, and then your balls are on the bad side. That's just a piece of paper like anything else on the incident report that you put on CNN, and it turns into the surface of the sun. Gone. Nothing but carbon. No carbon left. Nothing. Sharp's taking a double springing backflip, getting the fuck out of here because he's supposed to save people, and it's about to rain. He don't leave very often. He's just looking for somewhere else to win. That's all that is. He can't win on that board right there. Salty rolling in here like the dead. Coming in here, the whole Van Dash manuscript. You think the Necronomicon's got shit on that? Nothing, man. I get them all alive, dead, Salty Island, the past, the future. I look at the physics. I say they did. That was this. This is how they could speak. They didn't speak to say one word, Your Honor. I'm not saying that this was verbatim. I'm saying you're going to try to find a general that's going to do more calculations on the frames of the grids or based on the opinions of the Force MA physics from that location in terms of space-time, location, GPS here about what... Yeah, I thought not. Yeah. Can now. You can now tomorrow, right? That's fast. Yeah. Officer NCO Credo tonight. It was like 15 or for you just got. Yeah, being able to repeat that's not what's important about that, though. It's can you memorize this? You know, that's the test. It's 83. That's hypervigilance. Somebody in that field is going to have the M1 sergeantry behind that, and they just slide over on the mill N1 one half to a manager. And I don't mean that to be manager, because you can be the Mason and have this. I got here today. He almost messed up a bandit out. He was cranking away at it, and I had to throw it. Whoa. You know, it's just a little thing. You can't see the horizon on the other side of it while people are doing that. And if you're hands-on with this, that means you're not going to be as percentually accurate on all the other corners of what that is. There are no corners, no lines. There's no difference between 0.5 and 2 and all that other thing. 1, 0. You know, those are just 0, 0.5, 1, 2. How the hell did you get all that number in the pattern? Well, that pattern is very, very important. It just seems manic. It's bipolar that it just bottoms out in the quantum realm of zeros. Like, it don't mean nothing. Doesn't mean anything. And 1 says, on the other hand of that, it does everything. 0, clocked in, walk onto the treadmill. 0.5 is any of the main operations. I'm about to choose this one. and I could choose that for a timeline or multiple options of that timeline, and that's the job in the Master Mason walkthrough. The walkthrough in itself is made to be manipulatable. It's made to be, once I know a guy, that's what they can handle. I'm just going to standard candle that guy. He's my neutron star. He's my bar. He's the numbers for the hours and the timelines, because that length is literally graphable, but also scalable. And you got a guy there, you're going to deal a lot better with what's going on in your manic. Did you graph it? Did you stem this? You got all kinds of reason to get mad at yourself now. You even if you had the answer, then you gave it to them, and it's like, well, you got to have them do that. Come prepared. Have it done, beat, locked down. So only thing you can do is say checkmate. They take the knee, and then you right into the next one. And you can't use that power either. You can't use. It's not like there's ground to do it. That's just done. It's in the daily operations. It's just the move on it, and then you got to get more of those. Stack that shit up until eventually just people are calling you, pounding on your door like, hey, you, the devil or otherwise, hey, help. Catch you on the next one.